I'm here with Alejandro Quiroga, who is you have a very fancy title. Can you tell me what your title is and what exactly you do?
Sure. Yeah, I'm a director of sales here at Databricks. I've been with Databricks for 5.5 years, 20 years in the data industry. I work with a team of account executives, and we support the retail consumer goods industry of accounts on the East Coast of the US.
Awesome. That's actually overall an industry that is very near and dear to my heart. I used to work at a company that worked with like retail and supply chain analytics. So very
Yeah.
near and dear to my heart. What are some of the challenges that you are facing right now, or I should say, what are some of the challenges you're seeing your customers face?
Yeah. I think one of the big challenges that executives of data platforms are facing is in AI, right? Because there's so much interest and buzz from their executives, from corporate executives and line of business executives saying, what are we going to do with AI? And then you have legal, right? And you have a lot of, well-known brands out there that are positioning their large foundation models and what they can do with AI. And at the same time, what we're seeing in the technology side of it is that we have so much advancement in the technology, in the models that are coming out, right? You have new performance and new benchmarks being set every few months. And so the challenge, right, is the data executive is being asked, what are they going to do? They need to show that they're experimenting or even delivering value around AI, but the technology landscape is shifting quickly. So what we're hearing from VPs of data platform and again, IT executives is how can we establish a robust and scalable AI infrastructure and architecture and allow our team to have flexibility in what model that they want to use for given use cases. If you think about a consumer goods company, you have lots of different lines of business and different domains require different expertise.
Yes.
And what we're seeing with foundational models, you're seeing specialization. And that specialization is now manifesting into AI agents, right? That are even more specialized and nimble.
Should.
Back to the problem. How do we establish an open architecture that allows us to execute a use case with open AI because that's best in class for this domain, but then maybe we want to use Llama 2 for something else and not build, maintain, and upkeep multiple stacks, right? All of a sudden we're in a siloed stack environment all again because you have the large, LLM providers out there saying, hey, use our stack, no, use our stack. So I think that's really what we're hearing, a pain point of how do we experiment, prove value, but have the flexibility to change the engine, as it were, as new tech comes to market.
That's fair. Now I'm curious. So that's one of the problems that you're hearing. Now, how is Databricks answering beyond saying, hey, we can do the same thing competitors can do?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fun part of our job is that we're not saying we can do this better and faster, right? What Databricks provides is the Lakehouse platform, and that architecture allows our clients to choose a best of breed LLM, fine tune that if they need to, deploy it for key use cases, but also use open source models or vendor proprietary models to use whatever models they choose for whatever given domain or use case that the business is asking for without building multiple infrastructure or multiple stacks, right? So yes, we've got, DBRX, but if you don't want to use it, or if it's not best in class for your use case, that domain, don't use it. Let's use what's best in class for that business need.
That's fair. Anything else you want to share in terms of what to expect in 2025?
I think, in my 5 years being here at Databricks, the thing that always I can count on is innovation from the world-class engineers that we have here at Databricks. So, we're here in December at the World Tour in Atlanta. This is our last World Tour. I'll definitely be seeing you at Data and AI Summit in San Francisco in June. and the product innovation that you can expect is just going to blow our clients' socks off in terms of the capability, the sophistication, and the pace at which the platform is advancing.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll add that, like, you know, a lot of people could take that and be like, "Oh, you're just saying that," but realistically, what I've personally seen has I've seen two different products from Databricks that have, in my personal opinion, were strugglers, like DLTs
Yeah,
and even the early days of dashboards. And I've actually seen Databricks work hard on making those better this year instead of saying, "Hey, they're perfect. That's what you get." So I believe that you will continue to be driving that growth in a really in a ever increasing competitive environment.
yeah, no, it really is.
So good to finally meet you.
So,
Take it easy,
take
safe
care, man.
travels.
Very nice.
And to that point, right? Two things is when I first was joining Databricks, we didn't have Delta Lake, and I asked my friend who was recruiting me to Databricks. I said, "Well, what's to prevent the next vendor for coming out with a better, faster Spark?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "We're already doing that. It's going to be Databricks." And 3 months after I joined, announcement of Delta Lake, right? And then in my role, when we're working with customers who are in the trenches working with the product every day, we get that raw feedback every week, right? And so when we can have the conversation with our customers that says, "Yeah, all right, we hear you on that feedback. There's some rough edges here," and we share that back with product, and then we see coming back with those enhancements that addresses customer needs. Like, that's the great thing about being here at Databricks. We are so customer centric that the feedback we get is a huge part of our sort of pipeline of innovation.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a little article, and one of the points that I have is that Databricks is engineering led, but customer focused.
Absolutely.
So in a traditional, in many organizations, you have an engineering lead, you tend to just go into that silo of like, I'm just going to build my pipe dream. But what I see with Databricks is you have very talented engineers that are saying, "Hey, what I built doesn't quite deliver in this area, but I'm listening to what my customer is saying now, so we can make it better." So
Exactly, right? And really having that feedback loop and being able to then bring back early previews, public previews, and getting that customer feedback. It's a lot of fun when we're working with clients in that space.
yeah, very nice to meet you
Great
so
to meet
very
you.
much.
Yeah, thanks again.
Thank you. Have a wonderful
Thanks.
day.